Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, I've got some incredible news that's shaking up the NFC East and honestly could be a game changer for the Washington Commanders. We're talking about a blockbuster trade that's been buzzing around NFL circles, one that could really reshape the defensive landscape of the division. You see, the Miami Dolphins, who are currently sitting at a 2-5 record and struggling with their run defense, allowing an average of 4.8 yards per carry, are making a bold move. They're trading away Dail Phillips, a player who, when healthy, has shown to be one of the most explosive and versatile edge rushers in the league, in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026. Yes, you heard that right. This is a move designed to reset cap space and rebuild for the future, but it's also set to have a huge impact on the NFL's defensive power dynamics, especially in the NFC. Let's talk about Phillips because he's at the center of this story. At just 26 years old, Phillips is what you'd call an athletic freak. The guy's burst off the edge is elite, and he has a skill set that makes him a nightmare for offensive linemen. Last season, he tallied 6 sacks, 28 pressures, and 15 quarterback hits, all while winning 20% of his pass rushes according to Pro Football Focus, with an impressive grade of 86. 5. His run defense grade, an 84.2. That's not just good, it's disruptive, and his EPA per rush, 29, which indicates he's incredibly effective when rushing the passer and stopping the run. He also racked up 30 tackles, missed only 7% of his assignments, though he did suffer a knee injury in Week 3, which caused him to miss 2 games. But when healthy, Phillips is a force on the field, a true top-tier defender. Now, if we look at his career stats, Phillips has amassed 32 sacks, 120 pressures, and 65 QB hits. His career PFF grade averages around 85.8, making him one of the more consistent and dangerous edge rushers in the league. What sets him apart, though, is his versatility. He's often compared to a Parsons-like because he can line up on the edge, but also has the agility and strength to disrupt in multiple ways, whether rushing the passer or setting the edge against the run. His ability to force fumbles, averaging around 0. 8 per game, is also a key factor that makes him so valuable. So why would the Dolphins trade away such a promising player? Well, it's all about cap space and strategic rebuilds. The Dolphins currently have around $20 million in cap space, but they're facing some pressing needs: stability at quarterback, extensions for their wide receivers, and a desire to bolster their offensive line and cornerback positions. Phillips, who is earning around $18 million annually, is a costly asset for a team that's trying to reset and plan for the future. Many analysts see this trade as a way for Miami to prioritize draft picks, especially for OL and CB positions, to build a more sustainable team long-term. But naturally, there are skeptics. They argue that losing Phillips weakens the Dolphins' pass rush considerably, especially since their sack numbers dropped to around 5 per game this season. Their defense has already been a bit porous, allowing nearly 28 points per game, so moving away from Phillips might be seen as a gamble. Now, this is where it gets really interesting for the Commanders, because this trade isn't just about Miami, it's about what Washington can do with the opportunity. With Phillips potentially heading to the NFC East, the Commanders are looking at a significant upgrade in their pass rush rotation. Imagine adding Phillips to a defensive line that's already showing promise. His presence could boost pressures by around 22%, which would be huge for the team's overall defensive efficiency. This would translate into a projected EPA per rush of about 38, making the running game and passing game even more difficult for opponents. And let's compare him with some of the other players Washington has in their edge rush rotation. For example, compared to someone like Montez Sweat or Chase Young, Phillips provides a different dimension, more explosiveness, more versatility, and a knack for creating turnovers. His sack total projection for the rest of the season could reach around 8 sacks, adding to the already formidable pass rush. This synergy with the secondary could lead to around 15% more forced turnovers, which is exactly what this team needs to push into playoff contention. Interestingly, this move could also elevate the perception of the Commanders' defense to a championship level. The odds of Washington winning the Super Bowl could shift significantly, jumping from +5-0 to around +2-200, giving the team a serious shot at contending. The analytics support this too. PFF's models show a 13% increase in win probability against divisional rivals like the Giants, especially with a stronger run defense that ranks in the top 12 after this trade. The ability to stuff the run and pressure the quarterback more consistently could turn Washington into a true playoff threat, capable of competing with the best in the league. Now, I want to highlight that this isn't just about adding talent. It's about a strategic shift, a message that the Commanders are serious about competing now. Phillips, with his blend of athleticism, production, and versatility, could be the spark that ignites this defense into a top-tier unit. And with the team already showing signs of growth, like the leadership emerging post-Jean-Baptiste and the coaching staff pushing for a 7-10 or even better record, this trade could be the final piece needed to push them over the edge. It's an exciting time for fans, and it's clear that the front office is making bold moves to set this team up for a real shot at the postseason. This whole scenario also throws a spotlight on the NFC East as a whole. The division has been highly competitive, with the Eagles and Cowboys often dominating headlines, but now the Commanders are positioning themselves as serious contenders. With this acquisition, they're not just building for this season, they're setting up long-term dominance. The combination of young, explosive players and strategic moves like this trade makes the Commanders a team to watch in the coming years. And of course, this isn't just about the immediate impact. The long-term implications could be even more significant. If Phillips continues to develop and stays healthy, he could become a cornerstone for Washington's defense for years to come. His ability to disrupt offenses, force turnovers, and create pressure will be vital as the team aims to reach new heights. This move signals a clear message. The Commanders aren't content with just competing. They want to dominate, and they're willing to make bold, aggressive moves to do so. Now, I know some fans might be wondering about the broader picture. How does this fit with the team's draft strategy? Well, acquiring a player like Phillips not only adds immediate talent, but also allows the team to focus their draft picks on other needs, like offensive line or cornerback, knowing they already have a disruptive pass rusher anchored in their rotation. It's a smart move that balances short-term competitiveness with long-term planning. Plus, with Phillips potentially becoming a key player in their defense, the team's culture and identity could shift toward a more aggressive, relentless style of play, something that can energize the entire fan base. And let's not forget the importance of leadership. Phillips, with his high motor and competitive edge, can serve as a catalyst for younger players on the roster. His presence in the locker room and on the field could elevate the entire defense's performance. As the team builds towards the playoffs, having a player with his explosiveness and experience will be invaluable. It's a move that shows the front office is thinking big, aiming for consistent success rather than just a flash in the pan. As we look ahead, the possibilities are exciting. If this trade goes through, and all signs point to it, Washington could see a significant uptick in their defensive metrics, making them a real threat in the NFC. The division rivals will have to take notice, and opposing offenses will have a harder time game planning against a defense featuring Phillips. The potential is enormous, and for fans who have been waiting for that breakthrough season, this could be the start of something special. Now, I want to remind you all that this is still developing news, and we'll be watching closely to see how the trade finalizes and what the team's next moves will be. But one thing is clear. The Washington Commanders are making bold moves, and their defense could be the key to unlocking a new level of success. With Phillips in the fold, the team's outlook is brighter than ever, and the NFC East might soon see a new powerhouse rising in DC. It's an exciting time to be a Commanders fan, and I can't wait to see how this story unfolds. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Phillips will be the missing piece that pushes Washington into serious Super Bowl contention? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This is a team on the rise, and with bold moves like this, the future looks incredibly promising. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, let's go Commanders.